So on this set of problems, we're going to be finding equations that are either parallel or perpendicular to this line that's given, and it has to pass through this point, or this point here. To find those equations, we do need to know the slope. So remember, to find the slope, you got to find 2 points on the line, like one is there. We can follow it down. It looks like the next place it intersects might be like right here. So we got to find that slope. And we're going to rise 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 units up. And then we're going to run 1, 2, 3 units to the right. So the slope is going to be rise 8, run 3. So since we're using parallel slopes, we want that same slope. But we also need it to pass through this point. Well, this point right here is at 1, negative 2. So you've got to plug this information back into y equals mx plus b, the slope-intercept form of an equation, so that we can find out what the value of b is. So in this case, my y is going to be negative 2, my slope is 8/3, times my x is 1, and then I have my plus b. So I get negative 2 is equal to 8/3 times 1 is 8/3 plus b. So I'm going to subtract 8/3 from both sides. Now when I do that, I do need like denominators. These will cancel. And then this one here, if we want a like denominator, we're going to put it over 1, which means the denominator now needs to become a 3. So if I multiply this by 3, then I'm going to multiply negative 2 by 3 as well, which would be negative 6. So I have negative 6 minus 8, which would give me negative 14/3 is my b. Now that I know my b and I know my slope, I can plug it into y equals m, which is 8/3, x plus my b, which is negative 14/3, and that is the equation of the line. We also have another problem, but this time we've been asked to find one that's perpendicular. So what you're going to do is, again, find the slopes. I'm going to pick like this point here and follow it down. There's a good point. So the slope for this one is going to be down 1, 2, 3 units over 1, 2 units. So down 3 over 2. That means my slope is going to be down 3, which makes it negative 3 over 2. So negative 3/2. And then it's going to go through this point here. Well, this point over here is at negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, comma, negative 2. And so now we're going to do the same thing we did as before, plug it into y equals mx plus b. My y is negative 2 equals my slope is negative 3/2 times my times my x, which is negative 5, plus b. So I get negative 2 is equal to, let's put that negative 5 over 1. Negative 3 times negative 5 is positive 15 over 2 times 1 is 2. So positive 15/2 plus b. So to get b by itself, I'm going to subtract 15/2 again. When I do that, I again need to put this with a common denominator. So right now it's 2 over 1. So it's going to have a denominator of 2. And if I multiply the bottom by 2, I multiply the top, negative 2 by 2 as well. Negative 2 times 2 is 4, so that makes it negative 4/2. Minus the 15/2 is going to equal my b. So that's going to give me negative 19/2 is my b. So the equation for this line is y equals negative 3/2 x minus 19/2. And then that will be the equation for this line.